Hello, coffee farming family. Welcome back to Githua's Coffee Farm, your go-to space for real, practical farming tips that actually put money in your pocket. If you are new here, here is Githua's Farm, and on this channel we talk about coffee farming in Kenya, from the seedlings to harvesting, the challenges that we face, the wins, and everything in between. Whether you are managing your first acre, or maybe you are a young farmer dreaming big, or just someone who loves seeing our Kenyan soil produce the best coffee in the world, you are home. We keep it simple, we keep it honest, and we focus on what works for maximum yields. Today's video is super important because your coffee is 1 year old. You can see, and ours is 1 year old, and this is the make or break stage where good management turns good plants into money making plants. We are diving into the essential practices that work for all, and we will be looking at all the varieties. Talk of Roiro 11, SL28 or 34, and Batian, and also the grafted. We start with the essential aspects, and we start with spacing, which in all the varieties it's very important to give a good spacing, and the one that I always recommend is 9 by 9 feet. Then you do mulch, weeding, foliar spraying, and finally pest disease control. These 5 things done right can easily double or triple your future harvests. Stick around till the end for a quick action checklist you can use today. If you are farming coffee right now, and maybe yours is 1 year old, kindly comment. Tell me which variety you have in the comment section. Is it Roiro 11? Is it SL or Batian? Let's grow together. Hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss these farm gems. Alright, let's go into it. First thing we talk about every single time is spacing. You planted at 9 by 9 feet. You can see from my video. This variety is SL, and you can see it will broaden this way. It will broaden from that point, and then it will get to 4.5. That is vertically, and still it will do it horizontally, so that at one day or within the 5 years or 3 to 4 years, it will have interlocked. The branches will have interlocked. So the key thing in spacing is the right decision you make at planting. It will really pay off big time now that your coffee is at 1 year old. Why is it 9 by 9 so important across all the varieties? Talk of Roiro 11, talk of SL, and also Batian. One is that there is sunlight and airflow. Coffee loves light. Let's agree on that. At 9 by 9, each plant gets full sun on its leaves. Therefore, too close and the canopy shades itself, leaves turn yellow and photosynthesis drop, and you lose yields before you even harvest. So good spacing means strong branches and also more cherries later. Also the root space. The root spread wide, whereby wherever you do the 9 by 9, it gives every tree its own feeding zone, so they don't fight for water and nutrients. At 1 year old, roots are expanding fast. Proper spacing prevents stunted growth. The other importance of spacing is that there is disease prevention. Tight spacing traps moisture and creates humid pockets where leaf rust and coffee berry diseases love to hide. So this spacing, as you can see it, 9 by 9, it will improve air circulation, drying leaves faster after rain, and cutting disease pressure very significantly. So still the spacing, the 9 by 9 spacing, will also ensure that there is easy management. You can walk between the rows and be able to spray, be able to weed, mulch, and also prune without stepping on plants. Harvesting also becomes faster and less stressful. Therefore, as you do spacing the right way, know that you'll have achieved a lot. Higher yields per acre also is another advantage as to why you do spacing. Even though Ruiro 11 it's a bit compact and can sometimes go closer, once you give it the best spacing, it still gives excellent results across all varieties while keeping plants healthy long term. So SL and Batian naturally love the wider spacing because they grow taller and also bushier. So at 1 year old, it's good that you walk in your farm today and check, are the branches just starting to touch? That's perfect. If they are already overlapping, you'll need to be extra strict with pruning later. So mark your rows clearly. It will help with everything else we'll talk about. Therefore, that is one of the essential management practice that you are supposed to make sure that you have taken into consideration as you are planting your coffee. Another one is mulching. So in this farm of my good friend of mine, we have tried to do management or maybe mulching, but we have not yet gotten there. This is one of the cheapest and most powerful thing you can do right now. Mulch is simply a thick layer which is 10 to 15 centimeters of organic material spread around the base of each tree, therefore covering the soil but not touching the stem. It's good to leave a small circle to avoid rot. Why is mulching not negotiable for maximum yields? Mulching is very important. So you can see around this tree there are quite a number of weeds because maybe there was no mulch around. So mulch ensures that there is moisture conservation. So Kenyan's rains can be unpredictable, whereby mulch cuts evaporation by 50 to 70%. So your soil stays moist longer, especially important for the first year old plants whose roots are still shallow. Also, if at all the farm was done mulching well, it could have helped in weed suppression. So it blocks sunlight to weeds, therefore weeds don't germinate. So less weeding work becomes easier for us. So the other issue about mulching or importance is soil temperature control. Keeps roots cool in hot months and warm in cold nights. Therefore, as you can see, I'm just doing the measurements in the farm. 3 strides are enough, and that is a surety that you have done the best of the spacing, that is 9 feet by 9 feet. So as we also continue learning about mulch, the importance of mulch, it also helps in soil improvement. As much as we have added mulch, it decomposes and adds organic matter, and therefore it improves soil structure and slower release nutrients. The earthworms are also beneficial microbes, and you should always make sure that at least you appreciate that. The last but not the least is erosion protection. Heavy rains won't wash away your precious topsoil. It's good to protect the topsoil so that at least we can gain the best of the yields. You can see that this coffee plant, it has yielded, and this is at 2 years. The coffee plant is at 2 years, but it has bared well. So best materials to use as you do mulch are grass, like you can see around, and this one will be a surety of your best yields. Therefore, weeding is very important. That's another essential management practice. Weeding, it is important. So never underestimate this. At 1 year old, your coffee is still small and slow growing. Weeds are bullies. You'll not be able to achieve the best of the yields, especially ripening, because of the weeding, because there is a lot of competition with the plants, the coffee plants, and also the weeds. Why control weeds for maximum yields? Because it will help to better nutrient uptake. So clean farms mean every gram of manure goes straight to your coffee. Also, the importance of weeding is disease and pest reduction. You can see these berries over here. They could not have achieved ripening because if at all there are weeds. So many weeds host pests or maybe fungal spores that jump to your coffee. So clean field also it's equivalent to healthier plants. Another importance of weeding is faster establishment. So weeded in a 1 year old coffee grows taller and also stronger, setting you up for early fast harvest. So weeding every 4 to 6 weeks or before weeds flower and seed. Use shallow hose or maybe hard pulling around the base. It's good to combine with mulching. It cuts your weeding time in half. Avoid using herbicides near young stems if possible. They can stress the plants. So keep the entire row clean, not just around the tree. Your farm will look professional and your yields will thank you. Therefore, that is one of essential management practice. The other one, as maybe we'll be looking at, is foliar spraying. And this is where we give your coffee a quick nutritional boost. Foliar means spraying liquid nutrients directly on the leaves, and the leaves absorb them super fast within hours compared to soil application, which can take days or weeks. So at 1 year old, foliar spraying is very important because it does a quick correction of deficiencies, and there is therefore young plants often show yellow or slow growth. So foliar fixes it immediately. Better growth and also vigor, that is another importance of spraying, and also stress resistance and also bigger yields, whereby healthier leaves also make sure that there is flowering and also cherries later. So as we continue working on it, on this area, of essential management practice. It's good that you know that the base of the tree should always be clean, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm weeding to ensure that the place is hygiene, has hygiene. Remember that when you are spraying, what happens is that even the foliar drops into the weeds, and that's why you see a lot of weeds growing around the tree, because the foliar has sprinkled into the weeds. Therefore, also it is fed. It's very important for you to do the hard pulling of the weeds to ensure that the coffee has no competition, and to ensure that there is weed, or maybe there is a disease and pest control, whereby you have cleared all the weeds around the tree. It's very important. This is what you mean by pulling, or maybe hard weeding. It's good to always shake the leaves, or maybe the plants, the weeds, to make sure that it will not regenerate again. So you can see how it is done. It's very simple. The advantages of hard pulling: it's cheap and also accessible. It is selective. You avoid damaging coffee plants, as I'm doing here. As I am weeding, I am ensuring that I've taken care of the coffee plants. And there is another advantage is that there is no chemical contamination. Although there are quite a number of disadvantages of hard pulling, is labor intensive. It's quite labor intensive because you get tired very fast, and it is time consuming, and also it needs to be done frequently. So another method of weeding is the so-called mechanical weeding. This is where you use slashers, or maybe brush cutters, or maybe other equipments or tools. And one of the advantages, it is faster than manual weeding and suitable for the large scale farms. So there are quite a number of disadvantages of maybe manual, or maybe the so-called mechanical weeding, whereby it is expensive. You use expensive equipment, and there is risk of damaging roots if at all you are not careful. So chemical weeding, or the so-called herbicide use of herbicide, is this is where you apply chemicals to kill or control weeds. So one of the advantages is that it saves time and labor, and effective for large areas. So there are quite a number of disadvantages that can harm coffee plants if it is misused, and environmentally it is risky. It requires proper training. Therefore, weeding is very important in the farm, but it's also good for you to be able to be vigilant. As we come to the end of today's discussion on essential management practices for a 1-year-old coffee plant, remember, a well-managed coffee plant today means higher yields and better quality tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more practical coffee farming tips. Let's grow better coffee together. Adios.